is between the current Chinese version 0.9.5 and the current global version 0.7.0. The first of which is that bots can, yes, enter houses now and even climb stairs. So you can tell it's a bot because of how little damage he does. However, this can be pretty freaky if you're not expecting it. So now you could be on the 3rd floor of an apartment and all of a sudden somebody runs into the room and freak you out, although it could just be a bot. So this is courtesy of GreatUmer, this footage, so a huge shout out to you. And if you play the Chinese version, I'd highly recommend adding him as a friend on there. So he's showing us that window glass is a thing. This is something that was originally added all the way back in 0.6.1, I think, to the Chinese version. And when you vault through windows, you can hear that sound. And my understanding is the only reason that some of these features haven't been implemented is because they want to support a wide range of devices, and window glass can affect performance for lower end devices. So now let's listen to the new buggy sounds as well as the radio. Definitely more realistic. You can see that the actual speed or drivability hasn't been impacted by this update. It's just the sound and the radio, like I said, but it's pretty neat and I'm definitely a fan of it. So it looks like he's heading for one of the supply drops. See what is in there. You can hear even the idle sound is a little different now for the buggy. So there's some level 3 gear. He already had level 3 gear though, so I'd imagine that he skipped ahead pretty far because he has an AUG and an SLR, I think that was. Yeah, SLR, yep. So he swaps that out for the M249, and you can tell he is just going from airdrop to airdrop. But yeah, a huge shout out again for providing this footage, and 0.9.5 is definitely a fun update to watch. And I'm going to try to get some more of my own footage too for night mode because it's so fun. It's just a matter of joining enough games so that you actually get a night game. So you can see he is switching the 4 times onto the M249. You can swap up to a 6 times on there. Now, it might not be the best idea because the recoil is pretty difficult to manage, but I'd argue a 2 times is generally the best scope for that, or like a red dot or a hollow, but you could go up to a 4 times, I suppose, if you have good trigger discipline. So, wow, look at that. That is like a dead center close, man. That is pretty rare that you see the center closing that close to the middle of the map, which is somewhere around school or Rozhok. So, different song. Or different variation of the same song. And I know the footage does get a little grainy at times. That is a consequence of the Samsung game launcher using that recorder. However, what's nice about that is that it allows you to record internal audio, which obviously adds a lot to this video because the new sounds are something we wanted to show off. There's another supply drop that is landing very close to the other one. And yeah, otherwise 0.9.5 isn't all that different from what we're getting soon. There are some other differences too in, I think it's you can now customize, I forget if that was 0.8.6 or 0.9.5 that allowed you to customize your what you auto pick up, which is huge because then you can choose how much ammo. I think that was 0.8.6, so hopefully that's coming to the next global version, which should be released in the end of August. But you could actually pick how much ammo and healing items and stuff you want to automatically pick up. So if you have an AUG, you might want a different amount of 5.56 versus if you pick up the new like the QBZ or something. So little differences there. 7.62 actually would be the bigger one. So if you wanted if you had an M24 and you only wanted, or a Car 98 and only wanted 100 rounds of 7.62 versus if you had a Groza and you wanted 350 rounds automatically picked up. So you could specify that. If you don't want 15 bandages, you don't have to carry them now. I'm probably going to say 5 or 10 first aid kits. You can select how many of those guys, or adrenaline syringes, anything. So it's nice to know that auto pickup is going to become a little bit more useful and a little less dumb at times. You can also change the color of your scope there, as well as I think the shape of it for some scopes too. So that little dot in the middle of the scope, you can actually select what you want. And this is another bot. So lots of bots in this game. I'd imagine he's a pretty low rank on the Chinese servers, and that is why you see so many bots. AWM and an AUG, definitely a great endgame combination right there. Just going to go ahead and start to boost up, and this is always a good idea, just good late game strategy, is if you have the boost items, you might as well use them. You can't carry them into your next game, and being boosted gives you that movement speed advantage. So if you're all the way boosted like he is right now, you actually get a disadvantage, or a reduction. So actually, let's listen to the dossier, and then once he gets out of it, I'll talk about this. Okay, so like I was saying, when you're fully boosted in that top bar, that last 10% or so, that gives you a reduction in recoil. So your weapons are actually more controllable. Now, where he is right now in that 60 to 90% boost, you get a movement speed bonus as well as a high heal over time. And then under that, you just get the heal over time. So it's always a good idea, like I said, if you have the boost items anyways, to use them when you're getting down to the last 10 people or so, or 5 people, 3 people as there is now, because it could give you that leg up over your competition. You hear the radio, and the dossier sounds a little bit different. Now only one other person left. I don't remember that being there actually in the global version. I'm sure it is, but it's like a little bus stop. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments down below as we're getting to the end of this game what sort of gameplay or what sort of videos you guys want to see on this channel. I'm trying to do a mixture of the shorter stuff, like we did some roof climbs, and I'll have a water breathing one coming up soon. So try to do shorter videos like that, and then some longer content, which would be like full gameplays, which can be 20-30 minutes. And then ones in the middle like this that are generally demonstrating new features or showing us a little bit about the changes in different versions of the game. I might do some more PUBG Mobile Lite gameplay if you guys want to see that, because those games only tend to last for 10 to 15 minutes. So here you go. He didn't realize that the last person was not a bot, and that's not good. So you can see that last person knows exactly where he is, and he has a tree for cover, but that's about it. So definitely not in a great position. Even though he has a ghillie suit, not in a great position when your opponent knows exactly where you are. So anyways, my name is Derek G. If you enjoyed this video and some of the differences, like I said, those smart bots, man, those things are going to freak me out, because I'm going to expect them to I'm not going to expect people to just be like up on the roof, and it's not a real person. So my name's Derek G. If you enjoyed the video, definitely give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends to help grow the channel. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I hope to see you on the